This video, showing children giving tips to drag queens at a show at Tennessee Tech University, angered some parents in the state. Local lawmakers responded to the situation by preparing legislation to classify drag shows as adult entertainment. If approved, the measure would make it illegal for such performances to take place on public property or in a place where a child could see them. If passed, violating the law could result in up to 6 years in prison. Similar bills are being considered in other US states. Proponents say introducing children to complicated sexual ideas at an early age can be confusing and even dangerous.
I believe that one is that it promotes the sexualization of children at a young age. And that is something that's been happening in our society more and more at a rapid pace. The second thing that I think is important to understand is the indoctrination portion of it. And some of these types of shows, children are actually being asked questions of, would they like to participate in that? By what name would they like to be called?
Whether any harm can arise from childhood exposure to drag performances is not clear. Jason Pearson calls the Tennessee legislation and similar bills targeting drag shows as a part of a larger cultural battle by social conservatives targeting the LGBTQ community.
So these laws are part of a larger battery of laws, hundreds of laws connecting to education policy, the so-called Don't Say Gay bills, the bans on trans students' participation in athletics, bans on healthcare for trans individuals.
A famous US drag queen, Eureka O'Hara, was born and raised in Tennessee. O'Hara sees a campaign to discriminate against vulnerable sexual minorities.
What you do by manipulating society to counterattack drag queens and their presentation of the opposite gender, pushing that into law, is you're stopping any transgender person from being able to legally represent themselves as their identified self in everyday life.
O'Hara says it's not necessarily sexual in nature and that much of the public doesn't understand what drag culture really is.
I think that legislators are misunderstanding that drag is so much more than just sexual innuendo. It's an opportunity for us to express ourselves in a way that we were never able to express ourselves growing up.
Those expressions are now part of broader cultural battles in America. Some recent drag events have been disrupted by protesters, forcing venues to suspend them. Maxim Moskalkov for VOANews, Washington.